am now in Muynak, in the northern part of Uzbekistan. If I could travel back in time and came here in 1960s, I would see a coastal city with a fishing port on the Aral Sea. However, now this is what remains from the Aral Sea. So the old port of Muynak was just here and this was the sea. But now what we have is an endless desert, and the nearest point to Aral Sea is now 150 kilometers far away from Muynak. I assume you have one question. Why? Why did Aral Sea shrink that much? The reason is money. In 1960s, the Soviet leaders decided to give importance on the cotton growing, to export cotton and to make money from the exportation of the cotton. However, to grow cotton, you need to have lots of water. That's why the Soviet leaders, they diverted the two main rivers that are bringing water to Aral Sea, which are Amu Darya and Sil Darya. As they used those rivers for cotton plantation, Aral Sea couldn't receive the water that it needs to have to keep the water level. Because the sun is very strong here and it's very hot, and it loses lots of water due to evaporation. And because of that, in decades, Aral Sea, it only covers 10% of the area now that it used to cover in 1960s. And that's why once there was a port and Aral Sea here, but now the nearest point to the Aral Sea is 150 kilometers away from here. You can see the water level by every year. As you see, in the 80s it becomes more severe and Muynak gets away from the Aral Sea. And the countries keep the policy of using the water of the two rivers for cotton, and Aral Sea keeps on shrinking. This is the result of the human greed. As the Soviet leaders used the water of the rivers to grow cotton and to export cotton and to make money from cotton, they killed the Aral Sea and they killed all the fishing industry in Muynak. These are old fishing ships that were used and that were feeding lots of families in Muynak, and now they are just in a graveyard, in a ship graveyard, and they can't be used anymore because the nearest shore is 150 kilometers away. And the point that I'm standing now was sea. It was sea just 60 years ago. And now, as you see, it's a never-ending desert. It's like apocalypse on the earth. Muynak Museum now, and in the museum you can see the photos of the city from the 60s, and you will see that the city was just next to the Aral Sea, and it is a very vibrant city with fishing port and also fishing processing facilities.